Okay, so we're going deep today
Uh-huh.
on something, honestly, that I feel like a lot of people put off.
Yeah.
And it can be a little bit intimidating to even think about.
It can be.
Um, but it's one of the most important things I think that we can do for ourselves
Right.
is to really take control of our finances.
Absolutely.
And so we're going to be talking today about strategic financial planning.
Yes.
And I have a ton of notes here from all the research
Yes, you did.
that you sent me. A lot of really, really interesting stuff here.
Great.
So this is going to be, I think, a really valuable episode.
Yeah.
So where do we even begin with this when we talk about strategic financial planning?
I think the best place to start
Okay.
is with your goals.
Okay.
What are you hoping to achieve? And
So not just like, I want to be rich.
right, not just like I want to have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like,
Vague. Yeah.
you want to be more specific.
I was going to say, yeah.
You want to think about like SMART goals,
Oh, yeah. I heard about those.
specific, measurable, attainable,
Achievable. Yeah.
achievable, realistic, and time-bound.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you want to have like a very clear picture
Yeah.
of what you're working towards.
So for instance, like,
Yeah.
I want to retire by 55.
Right, exactly.
Instead of, I just want to retire someday.
Right, or I want to buy a house in 3 years.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So being specific about
So having that, like,
a time frame
yeah, having that date makes it more real.
makes it more tangible. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So once you have those goals,
Okay.
you can start to think about like, okay, well,
Yeah.
how much money do I need to save?
Right.
What kind of investments do I need to make
Okay.
to actually achieve that goal?
Yeah. So it's like working backwards almost
Right.
from that goal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So that's step one,
that's step one.
getting clear on the goals.
Yeah.
What do we do after that?
I think, it's important
Okay.
to have a really clear picture
Yeah.
of where you stand right now.
Okay. So that would be what? Like,
That's like kind of taking a financial inventory, like looking at what's your income?
okay.
What are your expenses?
Uh-huh.
What assets do you have?
Yeah.
Like, do you own a home? Do you have
Savings account.
savings accounts? Do you have investments?
Right.
And then what are your liabilities?
Okay.
Like, do you have student loans?
Uh-huh. Yeah, got it.
Do you have credit card debt, a car loan?
So you need to know both sides, like
Okay.
what's coming in and what's going out.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And having that clear picture
Yeah.
of your current situation
Yeah.
can help you to then start making a plan to reach those goals.
Yeah, but that sounds kind of overwhelming to me. Like,
I know, it can.
where do you even begin with taking a financial inventory? Like,
Yeah, I think there are a lot of tools out there.
okay.
There are apps,
Yeah.
there are websites that can kind of help you
Like-
to track your income and expenses.
Oh, okay. But
So there's help out there. It's not like you have to do it all manually.
no, it doesn't have to be that complicated.
Okay.
A lot of banks now, too, will have features
Right.
like in their online banking
Yeah.
that can kind of
Break it down for you.
break it down for you, yeah, and categorize your spending.
So that helps a lot.
Yeah,
Okay, so we have our goals.
right.
We've taken an inventory of our finances.
Yes.
What's the next step?
So I think one of the most important things,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people, like I said, kind of put this off, is creating a budget.
Right.
And
I know budgets don't sound fun.
I know budgets get a bad rap,
Yeah, they do.
but I think it's really about
Yeah.
shifting your mindset around budgets.
Yeah. Because I don't think of a budget as like this restrictive thing.
Yeah.
It's really more like a plan,
Okay.
It's like a roadmap
Mhm.
for your money.
Okay.
And so it's about being intentional
Okay.
with how you're spending your money
Right.
and making sure that your spending aligns with those goals that we talked about earlier.
So it's all coming back to those goals.
Right. Exactly.
Got it.
So, a lot of people, I think, get overwhelmed with budgeting because they think it has to be this, like,
Yeah.
really complex thing with, all these spreadsheets and
Yeah.
different categories.
Yeah.
But I think,
Okay.
you can start really simple.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
Keep it simple.
keep it simple. Yeah.
Okay.
Just start by tracking
Yeah.
your income and expenses for a month.
Uh-huh.
And then from there,
Yeah.
you can start to see, okay, well, where is my money going?
Right.
And are there areas where I can maybe cut back?
Oh.
Maybe I'm spending more than I realized on dining out.
Right. Right.
Or I'm subscribed to all these streaming services that I'm
right.
not even using.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that one.
So, little things like that can make a big difference.
So the budget doesn't have to be like super restrictive. It can just be
Right.
about awareness.
Awareness and intentionality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So now we have our goals. We've taken inventory of our finances. We've created our budget.
Right.
Now, what do we do with all this? Like, where does the money go? What do we do with it?
So I think once you have that budget,
Okay.
you can start to see,
Yeah.
okay, well, how much can I realistically
Yeah.
set aside each month
Right. Okay.
for savings?
Right.
And one of the first things I always recommend
Okay.
is building an emergency fund.
Okay.
And this is such an important part.
Of a financial plan because
Yeah.
it helps you to weather
Yeah.
those unexpected storms that life throws at you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like job loss,
Right.
medical emergencies,
Mm-hmm.
car repairs, all those things that can kind of
Right.
throw your finances off track.
And it feels like those things always happen at the worst time,
Right, exactly.
like when you have no money.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so having that emergency fund
okay.
really gives you peace of mind.
Okay.
And it also prevents you from having to go into debt
Right. That makes sense.
when those unexpected things happen.
So, how much should people be saving in their emergency fund?
So the general rule of thumb
Okay.
is to aim for 3 to 6 months
Okay.
of living expenses.
Okay. So that could be a pretty big chunk of change.
Yeah, it can be a significant amount,
Yeah.
but I think, it's more important to just start
Okay.
than to try to save
Yeah.
that full amount all at once.
Right. You don't have to do it all at once. No, just start small,
Yeah.
$10 a week, $20 a week,
Whatever you can manage.
whatever you can manage.
Yeah, okay.
And over time,
Yeah.
it will add up.
It will add up, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our emergency fund.
Mm-hmm.
We're contributing to that regularly.
Yes.
What do we do next?
So once you have that safety net in place,
Okay.
you can start to think about
Oh,
growing your money.
okay, this is where it gets fun.
Right.
This is where it gets fun.
Yeah.
So we're talking about investing.
We're talking about investing.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know for a lot of people,
Yeah.
investing can seem intimidating.
Yeah, it does. It seems
Like it's this
complicated.
yeah,
Yeah.
world that's only for like
Rich people.
rich people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not true.
Okay.
There are so many options
Okay, good.
available now
Yeah.
for people at all income levels
Okay.
to start investing.
Okay.
And it's really important to start investing
Right.
because it's one of the best ways to build long-term wealth and
Right.
to reach those financial goals
Right.
that we talked about earlier.
It's all tying together.
It all comes back around. Yeah.
Okay, so break this down for us. When we talk about investing, what are we talking about?
Yeah. So there are a lot of different investment options.
Okay.
And I think,
Yeah.
it's important to do your research
Okay.
and figure out
Which
what's
are-
right for you.
Okay, so what are some of the options?
Yeah. So some of the most common one you'll hear about are stocks,
Okay.
bonds,
Mm-hmm.
and mutual funds.
Okay, so what are those?
So stocks represent
Okay.
ownership
Okay.
in a company.
Okay.
So when you buy a share of stock,
Yeah.
you're essentially buying
Okay.
a tiny piece of that company.
Okay.
And bonds
All right.
are essentially loans
Okay.
that you're making
Okay.
to a government or corporation. And they typically pay
Okay.
a fixed interest rate
Okay.
over a set period of time.
So it's like lending money and getting interest.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And then mutual funds are baskets
Oh,
of
yeah.
stocks or bonds.
Okay.
So it's a way to diversify your investments.
Okay.
Instead of just
Okay.
putting all your money in one stock,
Right, yeah.
you can invest in a mutual fund
Mm-hmm.
that holds shares of many different companies.
Right. Okay.
Or many different bonds.
So the risk is spread out.
The risk is spread out, yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And so how do you, as someone who doesn't know anything about investing,
Yeah.
how do you figure out where to start?
It can be overwhelming,
Yeah.
but I think, the first step
Okay.
is to do your research
Okay.
and figure out
Yeah.
what's right for you.
Okay.
What's your risk tolerance?
Right. Like how much risk are you?
Right, exactly. Are you comfortable
Yeah.
with seeing your investments go up and down?
Right.
Or do you want something that's more stable?
Okay. Yeah.
And then, also think about your time horizon.
Okay.
How long are you planning to invest for?
Right.
Are you,
Yeah.
investing for retirement,
Right.
which is,
Long term.
decades away?
Yeah.
Or are you investing for
Yeah.
a down payment on a house,
Okay. Yeah.
which might be in a few years?
Yeah. So it depends on your goals.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
So those are all things to consider
Oh, yeah.
when you're figuring out
Yeah.
what kind of investments to make.
So that brings us to retirement, right?
Yes.
Because we just talked about investing for retirement.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people especially younger people,
Yeah.
put off thinking about retirement
Right.
because it seems so far away.
It feels like a lifetime away.
Yeah. Yeah. But
You got to start thinking about it early.
you do. And the earlier you start,
Okay.
the better.
Okay, why is that?
Because of the power of compounding.
Oh, okay. What is that?
So compounding essentially means
Okay, yeah.
that your money
Yeah.
is earning interest on interest.
Okay.
So the longer your money is invested,
Yeah.
the more time it has
Yeah.
to grow.
So it's like a snowball rolling down a hill.
Exactly.
The more it rolls, the bigger it gets.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And so even if you're only able to save
Yeah.
small amount each month,
Mm-hmm.
if you start early,
Okay.
that money can really add up over time.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered budgeting, saving, investing, and retirement planning.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we need to think about when we're talking about strategic financial planning?
So there are a couple of other
Okay,
things I
okay.
think are important to mention.
Okay.
And one is risk management.
Okay.
And this is really about,
Protecting yourself and your assets
Oh.
from financial risk.
so like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, so things like insurance.
Okay.
So, health
Yeah.
insurance,
Right.
life insurance,
Yeah.
disability insurance,
Okay.
property insurance,
Right.
all those things.
So protecting yourself
Yeah, they're all about protecting yourself
Yeah. from the what ifs.
from those unexpected events
Yeah.
that can happen,
Yeah.
and really kind of
Yeah.
throw your finances off
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So we've got risk management covered.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
And then the last thing I'll mention
Yes.
is estate planning.
Okay. This is another one that I
Ah.
think people
Ah.
put off thinking about.
Yeah.
But why is it so important?
So estate planning is really about
Okay.
making sure
Yeah.
that your wishes are carried out
Okay.
and that your loved ones are taken
That's-
care of. Right.
Even when you're no longer around.
So it's not just for wealthy people.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Everyone should have at least a basic estate plan in place.
Okay.
And this includes things like
Okay.
having a will,
Right.
setting up a trust,
Okay.
if that's appropriate for your situation,
Mm-hmm.
and designating beneficiaries
Okay. Yeah.
for your accounts.
Okay.
And, I think a lot of people put this off because they think it's going to be
Yeah.
really complicated or expensive,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be.
Okay. That's good.
There are
Yeah.
a lot of resources available online, and,
Yeah.
you can also consult with an estate planning attorney
Right. If you need help.
if you need help. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
this has been a really, really comprehensive deep dive.
It has.
We've covered a lot of information.
Is there anything else that you want to add?
I think, the most important thing is to just get started.
Okay. Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
if it's just one small step,
Right.
don't be overwhelmed.
Yeah. Don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Just start somewhere.
Yeah, just start somewhere.
Okay.
Whether it's
Yeah.
creating a budget
Right.
or starting to save a little bit each month
Uh-huh.
or looking into
Oh,
some
yeah.
investment options.
Yeah.
Just do something
Okay.
to move you closer to those financial goals.
Okay. Perfect. So start with your goals.
Yeah.
Figure out where you are.
Mm.
Make a budget.
Yep.
And then
Start saving.
start saving and investing.
Yep.
And don't forget,
And protect yourself.
protect yourself and
Plan for the future.
plan for the future.
Yeah.
Okay. This has been so much fun.
It's been great.
I feel like I have learned so much.
Good. I'm glad.
And I hope our listeners
Mhm.
have learned a lot as well
Yeah, me too.
and are going to take
Mhm.
charge of their finances.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you for listening.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next time
That's good.
for another deep dive.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.